I call this press briefing to impress on the nation, especially decision makers, on the urgent need to address the premix fuel issue we have in the country. If you take the Volta Lake, for example, over 3 million people make their livelihood from fishing on the Volta Lake. If you add those on the coastal belt, the fishermen from Hafasni to Kita, who also depend on premix, the artisanal fishermen who depend on premix for their livelihood, we are talking about up to 5 million Ghanaians making their livelihood from premix fuel. Essentially, premix has become critical because the Ghanaian state, in its wisdom, has also moved away from using children and other minors for fishing on the Volta Lake. So the average fisherman in Yeji today goes fishing alone, or at best with one more adult, using the mechanized canoe powered by an outboard engine. Previously, we have up to 20 people, including children, as fishing hands. And I believe it's progressive to move away from the use of especially children. If this is to be fruitful, if this is to bear fruit, then it goes ipso facto that the inputs for modern fishing, which includes outboard motors, includes nets, and more especially premix fuel to power these outboard motors, must be made available. When I asked the Minister for Fisheries why we have such a shortage of premix fuel, she said the bulk distribution companies are unable to blend sufficient quantities. And for those of you who observed or who were in the chamber, my follow-up questions were why the bulk distribution questions were not blending enough fuel. Ladies and gentlemen, the stark reality is that the National Premix Secretariat and off-takers of premix owe these bulk distribution companies through the oil marketing companies. Again, the Ghanaian state also owes the bulk distribution companies through the subsidy, the cross subsidy that is on premix. If you owe the people, how are they going to blend sufficient quantities when you are whittling down their working capital? I will want to reiterate that this is not an issue just about premix. Neither is it an issue about the reverend people on the Volta Lake. But the whole coastal belt from Hafasni to Aplao is also affected. And the people in the fishing industry are predominantly the poor, they are predominantly the less powerful, they are predominantly the hard-working peasants. And if the state does not stand up, if the state does not support them, if the state lets them down in the provision of a key fishing input such as premix, then it behoves on all of us, the Fourth Estate, parliamentarians, and concerned Ghanaians, people who are concerned about equity, people who are concerned about livelihoods, and people who are concerned about the development of this country, especially the provision of protein, to stand up. And therefore, I call on the government of Ghana to take immediate steps to settle all the commercial obligations that it has to settle with the bulk distribution companies. It is for this reason that I call on all of you to highlight the issue of the supply of premix. Our people are suffering. Fishermen are being denied access to their livelihood. A number of them are unable to put their children through school because their income levels are deteriorating because of inadequate supply of premix.